Mackenzie, does your sweater match your book cart? Yes. Yes, it does. Hello there, welcome back to my channel. My name's Mackenzie. Thank you so much for being here. Today we're gonna do something a little bit fun. So this is something that I kind of want to have to see how my opinions change. So we're gonna talk a little bit about genres and how I feel about them. So obviously these are my opinions. You don't have to feel this way. It'd be weird if you felt exactly the same way I did, because I have some real personal issues tied to these genres and why I like them or don't like them. So have your own opinion, that's perfectly fine. This video is really for watching how I change, because in 2021 I really want to expand my reading, and I want to read from genres that I wouldn't normally pick from. I want to be able to definitively say I do or do not like this genre, and these are the reasons why. So that's what we're going for. So this video is a baseline. Welcome to my baseline. So my favorite genre, the one we're going to talk about first, is fantasy. This is the genre that I got into that really made me want to start reading. It was my escape. It was the only thing that got me through high school, through soccer practice, through water polo practice, through endless amounts of homework. Fantasy was my life. It was everything to me. And it's something that I still I gravitate towards, and it's easy for me to read. I know there's a few subgenres, being like high fantasy, and then they differentiate between young adult and adult fantasy, and honestly, I don't think I could, as much as I've read the genre, I don't think that I could differentiate and be like, yes, this is a high fantasy, or no, this is not a high fantasy. Obviously, with the age grouping, it makes it a little bit easier, but I still can't get down some of the subgenres, so that's a goal of mine. The next genre I want to talk about is romance. So this is a genre that I want to love so bad. I want to love it so bad because it's such a sweet genre. It's such a beautiful, lovely comfort read. It just seems like it's filled with comfort reads and great topics, and I mean, humans are relationship driven, whether it's a romantic relationship or not, and so to read about more relationships is something that I do want to do. Now, I have struggled, and the reason why I don't read romance is mainly because whenever I've picked up a book where I think maybe I want to give romance a try, I pick it up and the blurb on the back says something really cheesy, or it's a premise that I don't really think could happen. Now, a lot of the plots and a lot of the summaries that have come out in recent years, I'd say within the last 2 years at least, have really blown me away and have really gotten me interested in romance again. So I have in fact bought myself quite a few romance books to try out this February, and that's what we're going to do. Nonfiction. So I talked a little bit about this in my video last time when my goal was to read at least one nonfiction a month, and it is mainly because I have used my reading as an escape. I have used reading only as an escape. And yeah, a lot of fantasy does a great job of talking about the world and moral issues and really expanding upon interpersonal relationships, but it will never be as educational as a straight up nonfiction is, and something that is meant to widen your perspective and widen your gaze. And so, with the goal of 2021 being a better human, a conscious consumer, and more of an adult, because that's where my life is headed, I am going to be reading more nonfiction. Also, I believe nonfiction is a genre where If your mental health isn't in a good place or you don't have good coping mechanisms, nonfiction could destroy you. Because it's all about things that are real and real issues, and especially if the nonfiction that I plan on reading is about feminist issues, classist issues, cultural issues, things that I don't know about, things that I need to widen my horizons on and need to know about because it's affecting me. So it's definitely one of those genres that has always made me nervous, but it's something that I want to really go for and put my best foot forward. 2021, the year of being a better human. Okay, science fiction is a genre that I have realized that I really like. It's something that I didn't know if I'd like. I really like those sci-fi movies. I just didn't think I would like sci-fi books, and I'm not sure why, because a lot of my media tastes transfer from visual to reading as well. So sci-fi is something that I've just recently learned that I like. I don't know too much about it. I have bought a few sci-fi books, but that's about it, and it's really the only place I know where to start. I don't know who's good in sci-fi. I don't know what series to really get into. I know Dune kind of holds the crown right now. Has more to do with sandworms than it has to do with the new movie coming out, but I digress. Sci-fi is one of those genres, though, that I want to be able to pick a book knowing that it's sci-fi and not just upon me reading it realizing that it's sci-fi. I've done that a few times where I've picked up a book and realized, oh, this is a sci-fi thing. Not that I didn't like it, because I did. I ended up loving those books. But I want to get to the point with sci-fi where I recognize it right off the bat. Historical fiction is a genre that I didn't think I like, and it's also a genre that I don't, I guess, understand. I thought I didn't like historical fiction, but I also thought that I haven't read any historical fiction, and it turns out I've read historical fiction, and I like it. I just don't know what makes it historical fiction. Is it just that it is set a little bit in the past, and those things happen? Because historical fiction always to me has seemed like more like nonfiction, where it was filled with topics that were going to kind of make me upset and kind of walk the line between saying something is wrong and just showing it. You know what I'm talking about? So I thought I didn't like historical fiction. Turns out I don't know what historical fiction is, and that's gonna be the goal moving forward, is to figure out what historical fiction is and then form my opinion on it, because I just don't know. I just don't know. Alright, so I've grouped mystery and thriller together. I know they're slightly different. I know there's also suspense and subgenres like domestic thriller and all of that, but I've kind of grouped them together because I feel the same way about them. Mystery thrillers I enjoy, but I'm new. I enjoy the genre, but I'm new to the genre. I haven't read enough mystery and thrillers to guess the ending, to pick up on things. I watch a lot of reviews of like Riley Sager. Noelle Gallagher talks about Riley Sager all the time, about how Riley Sager has a formula and Noelle knows the formula and she picks it out right away. And I was thinking about my read of Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, and I'm not there. I'm just not there. I haven't read enough. I don't know enough. I'm not used to the genre enough to pick out things. Or even when I hear people talk about Agatha Christie's novels and about figuring out the whodunits, and I'm like, okay, I'm not there yet. Maybe I should just read some more. Maybe if I get used to the genre more, then I will. Reading the genre more will get me more used to it, and I'll be able to pick out the plot devices and reoccurring themes and really see if it's something that I do like or if it's something that's just recycled. Horror. I love. Horror is something that it always does what it's supposed to do. It always does what it's supposed to do. It horrifies me. It absolutely horrifies me. I don't read horror too much because every time that I do, it sticks with me. It sticks with me so hardcore that I can't move on from it. But it's done its job. That's the purpose of horror. I can't say that I don't like horror because I can only read a few of them. No, they've done their job. They scared me half to death. I don't want to read more of them. But I do love horror. I just need to, I guess, find more of it. Because I know of like some big names, obviously, but I really want to find some like hidden gems. There are a lot of books that came out around October that really seem to interest me, but I've heard a lot of mixed things about them, so I'm not really sure where I stand with the rest of the horror fans in BookTube. So I'd like to just read some more and figure it out. Contemporary is something that can be great, but it can also put me in a slump, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's just a little bit too like real life and I'm like, I don't want to worry about that or think about you. I want to think about me then if we're going to think about real life. So maybe that's why I get into these slumps, but I really can't. I really don't know. A lot of these genres are coming down to I don't know how to break down books into genres and I need to just read more, expand my knowledge, and then I'd figure out if I like these genres or not. And then the last one I'm going to talk about is memoir, and mainly because I feel like a lot of people read a lot of memoirs, and maybe they like those people. Memoirs are a little hard for me to get into, mainly because I guess I'm not as nosy as I thought I was. I mean, there are probably a handful of people that I care about enough to want to read their memoirs. Like, when I heard Alan Rickman's diaries were coming out from the films when he was filming, and they were going to be published, I want that. I want that so bad. Of course, that's something that it's probably the only memoir-esque book that I've been like, ooh, I need that. That, and also Jonathan Van Ness, he came out with his memoir, Over the Top, and that was also something I bought day one it came out. So only a handful of people that I really care about to know more about their lives, but it is something that I do enjoy, and I did enjoy Jonathan Van Ness's memoir, and I do want to learn more about especially some of the people that I want to look up to and respect. Alright, so that was a few kind of big genre types and my opinions on them. I hope this video wasn't too boring, me just spouting out a bunch of opinions without any books to go along with them, but if you made it here, thanks. So the plan is next year in January to do a similar video to see where my genre opinions have changed, and of course the overall goal for 2021 is to read more genres, expand my taste, and figure out what do I like and what don't I like, and can I even back it up with examples? Let's find out. Let's enjoy. I hope you had a good time, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!